What is up guys, today we're going to learn how to calculate 5 numbers using an array. So what we'll do is we'll place 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside an array and calculate the sum. Pretty simple. So in order to do that, we have our array dragon, length is set to 5, and not dragon alone, int dragon. And dragon's gonna hold 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty simple. Now we want to calculate the sum of these elements, so we might need another variable int sum that will store the sum and set it equal to 0. Now for our for loop we can write for and initialize x equals 0. Now notice that we have initialized and created x right in the for loop. We could have done this outside our for loop, but in order to keep the code short, we can also do this inside the for loop. Then how much we want to increment? We want to increment by up to 5. So 5. X is less than 5, and then increment. And a common mistake is that beginners do. They also type a semicolon over here. Don't do that. Your program won't run. Program will actually stop right here and skip everything else, so don't do that. Now in the body of the for loop we can do as sum plus equals dragon. Okay, and parameters would be x. So this basically means that sum equals sum plus dragon. I don't know if I guys told you about this before. I guess it's called compound assignment operator. Basically this sum plus equals dragons means that sum equals sum plus dragon. Now I've also added a comment over here, a little short, that beginners won't be confused. Now outside our for loop we can do is see out the sum, and we have an error that was a short semicolon. And let's hope we don't have any errors. And there you go, 15. How cool is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. It printed out the numbers, the sum of these 5 elements. It printed out right here, 15. So this is a quite short program. It's just printing out the sum of 5 arrays. So basically what the for loop is doing is this x is necessary just to keep the 8th statement, the 8th sum plus equals dragon, just to keep this running 5 times over and over again. That is why we have our for loop. So in the first iteration, what it's gonna do is it's gonna take your compiler is basically gonna say, okay, now in this statement you have created an array that has 5 elements. In the next line, what you have done is you have created a variable sum that is initialized to 0. And in the next line, what you have done is you have basically initialized x, set it equal to 0, and your compiler says that I'll remember that I have to go by up till 5 and I'll keep on incrementing each time. And then in the next line it says sum plus the old sum plus dragon with parameters x. Now in this iteration x was 0, so, and remember that the old sum was 0 because we have initialized sum equals 0. So in the first iteration in this equation, sum equals 0 or the old sum, that is 0, plus dragon with parameter parameter 0, and our 0th index has the value 1, so it's gonna take 1, and in the next cycle it's gonna take 2 added to the old 1, and then it's the value of sum would be 3, and then in the next iteration it would take 3 added to the old sum 3, and then it would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just like that. So that was pretty easy. I hope it was easy and you should understand what is a for loop. If you don't, or if you didn't understand this tutorial, go watch the for loop tutorial and then definitely things will become clear. So thank you guys for watching, and yes, GF17 Thunder is passing right over my head. So I'll see you guys in the next video.